Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get Bringing the Heat podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show into all the apps people like to listen to? How do I make money from my podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. It's Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsorships who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. As someone who found Anchor late, I was able to transfer all my podcasts from my previous site to Anchor, while also being able to go back and edit my episodes to insert advertisements. This truly makes Anchor the most user-friendly interface to get your podcast off the ground and running. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast and make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. Hey Luke, have you been looking for a new daily fantasy sports app?
I have really been jonesing for one.
I got the perfect one for you, Thrive Fantasy. Thrive Fantasy is a new DFS app for prop bets. They have streamlined the drafting process and eliminated the need to do unnecessary hours of research by using only top-tier athletes. Instead of the traditional salary cap format, you build your lineup around a list of prop bets. For each contest, you need to choose 10 of the 20 prop bets plus 2 ice picks that protect you from any late scratches or postponed games. Each unique prop has an over and under point value assigned to it, and you will be rewarded that point value if that prop is correct. For example, your man, Mookie Betts. Will he have over or under 1.5 RBIs? The less likely the prop is to occur, the more points the choice will be worth, and you build your team score around the amount of correct props you select. Got that?
I got it.
All right, so go check out Thrive Fantasy. If you use the promo code Bring the Heat, BringTheHeat, when you sign up, they will match your first deposit of up to $10. So you deposit $10, you have $20 to play with now. Go check it out. I know that we've already had some people reach out to us about their success. They've won some of their latest, I would say, bets. So go check it out. That's Thrive Fantasy, one of the best and newest daily fantasy sports apps out there. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bringing the Heat podcast, episode 34. It's your hosts, Zack and Luke, and with us again, we have the man with many nicknames, Mooch the Don, Mooch, or Teflon Don.
Teflon Don, Moochavelli, whatever he goes by.
What's
Mooch,
going on?
So, Mooch, welcome back. This is your second episode in as many weeks. How's it feel?
Ooh, I'm backing up better now.
Ooh.
All right.
Well, I see that none of us are wearing Air Maxes, but since we all like sneakers and none of us are wearing Air Max, it's kind of disappointing. Today is Air Max Day, so just happy Air Max, everybody. Also, Mooch brought it to my attention. All three of us have been struggling with receding hairlines lately, and I've noticed mine more and more every day. Every time I wash my hair, I got a handful of hair. So, I was just trying to recognize, the lineage we have going here. We got Michael Jordan that's going bald. Or, he's been bald. LeBron will be there one day. We got Jeter, The Rock, even though it's by choice, he claims. Stone Cold. The list goes on. We're
pretty good company in the ball spot.
I would say so.
Yeah, I will say that I've probably the one out of the three of us that has not completely embraced the baldness.
Yeah.
I still grow out my hair to try to cover up my receding hairline. But without a doubt, we are going bald, and that to me is a little depressing. But we're in good company.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, We even got Mike Tyson, being the company of the world heavyweight champ. It's great.
Even Mooch, who'd you say? Even Johnny Travolta's
even
bald
John
now.
Travolta's bald now. The man with one of some of the best hair back in the day.
Dude, that's true.
So, yeah, I would definitely say shame on me for not embracing it, but I don't think we have anything to worry
Especially now
about.
that you're a dad.
I know.
You
You gotta go bald and grow out the stash and this.
See, I think that it would look really cool if I was just bald with a full beard.
That's where I'm headed.
I think
I feel like I'm losing my head hair and it's going straight to my face.
I feel like that would be the dopest look, but I can't grow a beard, so that's kind of off the table for me. So even though I'm 24, going to be 25, I grow facial hair like I've just hit puberty. So it is not good for me.
Me and Mooch, on the other hand, we've had beards since like we were 10. So
Yeah, it's not fair. But whatever. Also, 18 years ago on March 22nd, so we're 4 days late.
When this day passed, I was excited. That was a good day.
That is so 18 years ago. Well, 18 years and 4 days now. Randy Johnson blew up a bird with a fastball.
That's probably my favorite baseball moment of all time.
That is one of the coolest videos that you'll see. Is just seeing the feathers, and I know the animal activists out there are probably going to get a little mad.
You didn't see any blood. It wasn't graphic.
And it wasn't like he did it on purpose.
The stupid bird flew in.
That's one way for the bird to go.
Yeah, dude. Hey, man.
That bird is in bird heaven right now, bragging to all the other birds, saying that I got hit with a Randy Johnson fastball. Yeah. You got just hit by a car or something.
Yeah, bro. Like, dude, the bird didn't feel it, I'm sure. It was a 105 mile an hour fastball around that range and just...
Yeah.
Kind of like the dust that LeBron throws up in the air.
It looks like the bird just disappeared. Like,
yeah, it's just feathers.
All the feathers were going everywhere, and then the bird's just like gone.
It's great. I love it.
That is a legendary video. So to start we already started the podcast, obviously, but to start to going into content, we're going to start with NFL, and I would say the biggest news that has come out is Gronk retires after 9 seasons. So he's kind of been fiddling with retirement for I'd say the last 2 years.
Yeah.
He's mentioned it, and so a lot of people are surprised. I'm not surprised. Gronk has, throughout his career, been absolutely battered. I mean, I will say the guy doesn't drop anything, but he gets destroyed. Brady can throw him plenty hospital balls, and he's still going to catch them. And I think that's kind of just what caught up with him. And with his personality, he doesn't have to play football to make money. And he's already said that he's never spent a penny of his NFL contract. He actually spent all his endorsement money. So
that's smart, bro. As dumb as he comes off of, that's smart financial planning.
Exactly, yeah.
So he's got $60 million just sitting in the bank that he's living off of right now. He probably hasn't even touched his salary still.
No, yeah, he hasn't. And I think that he's going to end up somewhere where he's going to be making money again, whether it's in Hollywood or, I know you say WWE.
Hey, dude, he'll probably be at the WrestleMania. Gronk, I'll see you there, buddy.
Put him on a talk show or something.
Yeah,
he's making his money.
He's going to be fine.
I could see him joining the podcast world and just...
I thought you were about to say joining our podcast. I'd be like, yeah, bring Gronk.
No, not joining our podcast, but joining the podcasting world. And I could see him being successful in it because I could see him doing a podcast that has nothing to do with football.
Yeah.
Just something about like life
just
podcast.
It's just going to be him being a meathead, partying, and girls.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Or a YouTube channel. I would subscribe to Gronk's YouTube channel.
It'll probably be about 69 or something like that. Man.
Yeah.
He loves that number.
Yeah, without a doubt. So, with that said, his agent has said that there's a possibility that he feels Gronk could return. I wouldn't disagree with that. I think if, Tom Brady was in the middle of the season was like, hey, man, we need you. He comes back, plays 4 or 5 games, and helps him win another championship. I could totally see that happening. But just for the sake that he doesn't come back right now with his numbers, is he the greatest tight end to ever play the game of football?
I don't know if he's the greatest, but he's definitely the most influential. He definitely changed how the position's played. That's why you see guys like Travis Kelce and all those guys, Jimmy Graham, and they're more like wideouts now. Like Evan Ingram too. You see all these guys that are fat. I mean, Gronk's slow, but you see all these faster guys that are just bulkier and bulkier, and they're just playing on the inside, and they blow out linebackers on pass routes and everything, and they're always open. So you're going to see more of these guys being developed, and they're going to affect the game more and more. But the injuries just caught up to him, man. Like you said earlier.
Like as big as he is, he can only take so many hits.
He's getting hit all the time. Like guys like Earl Thomas are laying him out. Earl Thomas obviously hits hard. He's only 5'9", and Gronk's 6'7", and he planted him. This guy's coming off of back surgery. He's had forearm surgery. He still wears that robotic elbow thing. He's beat up, man, and you just saw it was time for him to hang up the cleats.
Yeah, and the taller you are, the harder you fall. And I've seen Gronk take some shots. I mean, Patriots are always on TV. So, I mean, you get to see them play a lot. And it just seemed every game he was getting absolutely murdered.
He took one this past season, Jamal Adams.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
It's like the guys you wouldn't even expect are laying him out. So
and
he's
it's
feeling it.
It's not even just him. It was just, the passes Brady's throwing. Not that Brady's bad, but, he throws those balls knowing that Gronk's going to catch them. Yeah. And so, I mean, you pay the price for it over your career. So I wouldn't say he's the greatest ever either. In my eyes, it's still either Jason Witten or Tony Gonzalez. Those are my
As we saw earlier, Witten's still going to be adding to those numbers. He came back. So I just think it's funny. You got Gronk retiring, who was drafted in 2010, and then Witten coming back, who was drafted in 2003. That's pretty crazy.
I had this conversation with somebody before. You see it more now in today's NFL, guys playing 8 to 10 years, securing their money and leaving before they have any serious injuries or long-term issues. I mean, you see guys like Jim Brown. Yeah. I mean, I know he's old now. Calvin Johnson.
Patrick Willis did it as well.
Yeah, but because people don't want to look like Jim Brown. Now, Jim Brown's old now, but he was still not in good shape prior to him getting older. So I just think
he only played 9 seasons too.
Yeah.
So it was a different time then.
So I think that's kind of where the NFL's headed. You see a guy play 8 to 10 years and they secure their money and get out.
Especially with the money they make now, they can get out so early.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better overall for player health and safety. You see guys like Earl Campbell. He was in a wheelchair not long ago. He's obviously rehabilitated and he's walking again, but Earl Campbell's one of the greatest of all time at running back, and this guy was in a wheelchair 3 years ago. So seeing these guys fall so far from grace just because they wanted those extra years, it's not really beneficial for them in the end.
Yeah, I totally agree. And speaking about players who are retiring, and another oft-injured player, Jeremy Maclin. So Jeremy Maclin also retired, and you had made this list, so you put on there, had very high potential and always hurt.
Dude, he had the chance to be excellent, man. He was set up great with McNabb when he first came in. He also had Michael Vick, and I don't know if he was there for Foles when Foles went on that run or not, but he had chances, but he was just always hurt, couldn't stay on the field. And that's why he found trouble finding a job, because everybody knew it was concussions or ankles.
You knew what you were getting
you knew what you were getting from him.
Yeah, and I mean, Maclin had that 1, maybe 2 seasons where he was pretty good, and he got his money from Kansas City, but in the end of the day, I wouldn't say he was horrible, but he didn't pan out to what everyone thought he would have been.
Just think about that dream team that Vince Young called it with the Eagles. They had Vick, Deshaun Jackson, Maclin. They had who's the receiver now that they got? Jordan Matthews was there, and LaShawn McCoy. So that offense, on paper, could have been one of the best ever, but this guy was never there. He was always hurt.
Mm-hmm. So RG3 is back to doing RG3 things.
I can't believe this, man.
So RG3, he tries to come across as this innocent guy that is the most upstanding citizen in the NFL, and it always seems like there's always a story that comes out to debunk that.
There's something behind him all the time.
So RG3 is being sued by his former agent for firing him without paying what he owed his agent at the time. So the lawsuit's for over $650,000. So we'd have to assume that he didn't pay him around that amount.
From my understanding, agents are supposed to cash out right away when a player signs a new deal. Yeah, they're supposed to cash out right away. You're supposed to give them their cut.
And usually they do good that way by getting their money right away.
But this dude was canned, and he still didn't get his money, man. Give him a severance pay or something, bro. You fired him from his job.
Yeah. RG3 continues to refute all that image he's trying to what am I trying to say? Trying to show. He's not that person that I think he tries to make himself out to be. I think he's kind of a douche.
Especially when you look at the amount the lawsuit's for.
Yeah.
$650,000 to players, especially when in his position of what he came out as and how big he was. That's like pocket change to these guys. You know, just pay the man his money.
Especially now, you're seeing like their guaranteed money, their signing bonuses of like $5 million. You could, chew up and spit out $700,000 on a dinner. Just give the guy his money.
And maybe not now, but back when RG3 first came out, he was an endorsement guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, he had a decent amount of endorsements because his rookie year was phenomenal.
He had his own cleat with Adidas, the Adidas Hero. That is his shoe.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's still making money off of that, I'm sure. So, RG3, stop being scummy.
Well, speaking of RG3, bro, he has some knee issues and all the ACLs and kind of ruined his career. This past season, there was 53 torn ACLs in the NFL. That's insane.
That's a lot, but I feel like there's probably been other seasons where there's been more. No,
I feel like we see it every day now. Like it's just more and more every year. Concussions are going down great, but I don't know if it's the cleats. I don't know if it's the turf.
I think it's the play style.
Yeah,
right. Concussions are a little less now because you don't see people getting hit as hard. There's flags for every kind of hit now in the league. But now it's all about the jukes, the spins, the routes. Everybody's emphasizing this step.
And even the tackles.
Cut. And the tackles, it's all low. So I feel like that has a lot to do with it and what's going on.
But a good 85% of this list that I'm looking at, it's all offensive players. Even linemen, too. Linemen I expect because, they're getting run into by running backs and they're getting fallen onto from the side. So I can see them blowing their knees out. But 85% of this list are skill position offensive players. Wide receivers, tight ends, fullbacks, running backs. It's pretty crazy. You got Darius Geis. You got Hunter Henry on here. Marquise Lee, Jerick McKinnon. And that's 5 guys.
And you said those are ACL tears or just
all ACL
knee
tears?
Injuries? Oh, yeah. All ACL. Yeah, that's serious.
That's insane.
I think it has a lot to do with what Mooch said. Just the skill positions. They always emphasize footwork and making the cuts and everything like that. And a lot of times we see these knee injuries. They're non-contact. In practice, like you're running through drills and probably not even suited up.
Yeah.
And they're going down. So I think a lot of it has to do with. These guys are becoming more athletic. They're running at crazy speeds, faster. The NFL is faster now, I feel like, than it's ever been.
Yeah, I feel like these guys are too athletic for their own good.
Yeah, like you're running so fast, and then to make a cut, that's not...
The wear and tear on the body is just it takes its toll.
Well, that's another thing.
They don't allow themselves time to recover.
If you're playing football since you've been 10 years old, and you're playing that position, your whole entire life...
It's just like pitching. Perfect example, Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
Dude's a monster. He would run, games after games.
Yeah.
And it finally caught up to him. Hurt his knee, his ACL, and it's kind of like
3 months.
Yeah, still the fastest turnaround for sure.
The best example of to take your time and recover from this, I know Le'Veon Bell injured his knee a while ago, a couple 4 or 5 seasons maybe, I think. He's one of the ACL guys, he tore his ACL 4 years ago. I'm pretty sure it was the second one when he did it with the Steelers because he did it in college too. But you see, he took an entire year off just to let his body heal. That was definitely part of the reason he took
so long off. Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. So
I think you're going to see that more and more because he didn't. I mean, he lost money, but I'm sure in the new collective bargaining agreement they're coming up. I think in 2 years they're going to talk about it. They're a renegotiating. You're going to see more time off for players. Maybe more bye weeks. That 18-game thing, that's definitely getting thrown out the window. I know the NFL wants it mainly for revenue reasons, but it's not safe.
The only way they're able to do that is if they cut on preseason games. And at this point, there's guys that don't play a single preseason game because why risk the chance of losing your whole season? Mm-hmm. So just some other news that I guess we don't really have to elaborate too much on for football is Darqueze Dennard. He returns to the Bengals on a 1-year, $5 million deal.
I'm surprised nobody else wanted him. He's a good slot cornerback, man. He could have definitely helped out a lot of teams.
But at least he goes back to a team.
He's comfortable.
Yeah, he's comfortable there. So, also, John Gruden says Derek Carr will be the Raiders quarterback.
I don't know if I believe that. I don't, because there were so many things came out last year that they were arguing, they didn't get along. Derek Carr doesn't get along with teammates, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. They have 3 picks, and they could easily trade 2 and turn it around for a higher pick and draft a quarterback.
My thing with this is Derek Carr had Amari Cooper. It's not like he never had weapons, and it always seemed like he was the reason why their offense was struggling. I feel like he's regressed since his rookie year. And so I don't know. I don't know. I think it's kind of hard to have faith in Carr, in my honest opinion. And I don't know. That's why I think Antonio Brown, without as good as he is, I don't think he's going to regress because of him necessarily. I think he's going to regress because of Carr.
I think so too.
Well, of course, especially when you go through. I mean, whether you like Big Ben or not, it's a Hall of Fame quarterback compared to a quarterback, which we talked about before. You know what you're going to get when you put him on the field.
Yeah. In the same interview, John Gruden, he was like praising him though. He's saying, "Oh, Derek Carr's going to be our quarterback. We think he's great. We believe in him." Blah blah blah. And he was spitting out stats that went unnoticed by me because I'm used to seeing guys like Stafford, Breeze, Brady. These guys throwing for 5,200 yards, setting records every year. Derek Carr didn't even do that bad last year. He had 4,200 yards, and he was close to 70% completion rating. That's what John Gruden said. So, hey, man, that's not bad.
I mean, I think there was other reasons why the Raiders were as bad as they were. I think overall as a team,
trading Khalil Mack was definitely a big piece of that.
Well, and I think overall as a team, they had a lot of holes. So I'm not going to put it all on Carr, but in my honest opinion, I feel like Carr's regressed. He hasn't lived up to that contract he got.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can see them sticking with Carr because I don't know if anyone in the draft right now is better than Carr. So
in his defense, though, he has had 3 different head coaches. He's had to learn 3 new systems.
And he's dealt with injuries.
And exactly. He's had his back injury. I think he had an ankle injury the one year. So, I don't know. Maybe this is the year he puts it all together. Who knows? And if not, he's going to be with his brother as a co-host on NFL Network.
So, you actually mentioned Matt Stafford.
I did.
The Dolphins apparently tried to trade for Stafford last year. They offered a first-round pick and more. If you're the Lions, do you say this is stupid or what?
If I'm Matt Patricia and I'm coming in there and you're already seeing what you have with your team, you're also looking at the division. You have the Vikings, who are one step away from the Super Bowl. You know, they got smacked by the Eagles, but they were still there. You got the Packers, always good, and the Bears. They already made their moves, and they showed that they're coming up. So if I'm Matt Patricia, I'm kind of saying, hey, you know, this is the guy here, but he's been here long enough. He hasn't really proved anything. He's only been to the Pro Bowl one time, barely ever in MVP conversation. Maybe it's time to move on. So you take those pieces and you rebuild, because that's why they're getting rid of Ziggy Ansah. They're letting him walk. They're rebuilding. So I think they screwed the pooch on that one. But I can see why they held off. And if they traded him, they would have saved like $28 million because he's the highest paid quarterback. Well, not anymore because Aaron Rodgers, but he was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
I think the Lions screwed up greatly on this. Matt Stafford, to me, now I like Matt Stafford, but to me, he's the most overrated quarterback in football.
I agree.
If you look at the reason why he throws for so many yards, they haven't had a run game in Detroit, and I cannot tell you how long. So he's forced to throw the ball 40 times a game. Mm-hmm. So eventually you're going to throw for 40 yards or 40 times for 300 yards, and you're going to throw 3 touchdowns, but you're
going to do that when you're coming back from a deficit all the time.
Yeah, and he turns the ball over a lot. Like I said, I like Stafford, but he has not lived up to the hype, and he is I think the most overrated quarterback. Him or Kirk Cousins. Those are the 2, I think, most overrated quarterbacks in football. So I think the Lions should have taken that first-round pick, and who knows what else. We just know that there was a first-round pick involved. And it's time to start something else. And again, like you said, with Patricia being a new coach, get a quarterback that is young and going to learn your system and fit your system.
Especially now. Like, you got that first season under your belt. And they believe in you. You didn't do that bad. You held your own against the teams of the division. And what they finished, like 7-9, 8-8, something like that. Mm-hmm. So you proved yourself, man. They know what they're getting out of you. Start the rebuild.
Yeah, I agree.
Speaking of rebuilds, that brings us into our next thing. Last time we had Mooch on, we were talking about the Jets, since he's a Jets fan, and also because they're one of the hottest teams this offseason to talk about. But I brought up the idea to Mooch last time that what if the Jets traded back to get more picks, and it looks like that's what they're trying to do because McCagnon said today that the number 3 pick is up for grabs and they're looking to sell and go back. What is your opinion on that, Mooch?
I think they're looking to just get generally overall good team picks instead of choosing one position, one skill position that they think. They're not going to go for that big name receiver or the big name running back because they just got Bell, so that's off the thing. Their defense right now is looking pretty solid, so they're trying to look for smaller players that are just going to help the team and make certain positions
and that
better.
goes back to like what I always say and what you agree with me on is just building a solid team all around.
Overall, right?
Yeah, overall, you don't want to focus on one guy. And that's what the Giants did. They focused on one guy last year, and that was Saquon Barkley and Odell. And you can't do that. You got to spread the ball. I think Odell and Saquon came up with like 70% of the offensive touches last year. Can't have that. You got to spread that around evenly.
Sooner or later, people are going to know who's the ball going
exactly.
to.
And if you're in a situation like the Jets were last year, you draft by need, and that's what they did. They needed a quarterback. They went out and got him. That's something the Giants can learn because they did it reversed. Last year they needed a quarterback, but they drafted the best player available.
Running back.
Now this year they need a quarterback again. They have 2 picks in the first round. And Shermer came out today and said that the Giants are going by best available player and not by biggest need. So they have 2 picks, and they're going to screw it up again. So, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, the Bears, they rebuilt perfectly. I think they're going to be good for a long time. They're just going to keep adding key pieces. The Jets are on the come up. I know we talk about our favorite teams a lot on here, but it's our podcast. It's obviously what we're going to do. This is what interests us. We're going to talk about our teams. And honestly, these are the 3 biggest teams to talk about. The Bears not so much, but the New York, the market. Everybody's paying attention to the Giants and the Jets, especially in the area we live in. But I really think the Giants could probably take a page out of the Jets book and the Bears book right now on how to rebuild. They just seems to me that they don't have a competent GM.
Just going back to the Jets, I think the Jets' biggest need is, in my opinion, and I said this last podcast, is at receiver because I don't think they have a go-to guy.
Yeah.
But they have a Nua. I like a Nua. But to me, you can't take a receiver at 3. There's no receiver worth taking at 3.
I mean, the last time they did that, it was, what's his name? Out of USC. Keyshawn Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
They drafted him in the top 10.
So,
and we know how that turned out. They traded him to the Bucks in like 3 years.
So my thing is you trade back. You could probably get, another a boatload of picks for the 3 pick. And then there's going to be a good receiver at the end of the first round
that goes late. Because
I think that this draft is stacked at receiver.
In every position.
Yeah.
Dude. Every position, I think it's deep in.
So you can trade back, and they can still get themselves a number 1 receiver without a doubt, or number 2, whatever they're looking for, and fill those other needs. So at this point, if you're drafting in the top 5, all right, you need to know like this guy, I need him. He's gonna fill the glaring hole that we have, and I just think the Jets' biggest hole, in my opinion, is receiver, and I just don't think you can take a receiver at 3. Like DK Metcalf is awesome, but he's not worthy of the 3rd-round pick. There's so many better players that teams are going to want and give you a boatload of picks for him.
Yeah, he was also combine-wise, like number-wise, but you look at his season stats, and we were looking at his receptions, and it's like, I think he had like 60 receptions like total or something like that.
Where was he? Ole Miss wasn't a bad team, but this guy went missing at times, whether it be, I don't know, he was in the SEC, so I get they got lockdown corners like Greedy Williams at LSU, but still, man, you're playing opposite of another first-round receiver in A.J. Brown. Where was he at times? He kind of went missing. So, to me, that's like a developmental pick. So you got to take him later in the round. But if I'm the Jets, man, like you said, a glaring hole, receiver, but they also need offensive line. They only got 1 guy, and he's 30 already.
The backbone of...
Osamelli's the only guy they got this year, and they let 2 guys go.
And that's what I'm saying. So you trade back, and you can get your receiver. Maybe they get 2 first-round picks or something like that.
I think them trading with the Raiders for 24 and 27 is a perfect match. And you probably get more picks from them, too.
Yeah, and you can take 2. You could take that receiver, take a lineman, take 2 linemen, because there's going to be receivers in the 2nd round. Deebo Samuel is my favorite receiver in this draft, and he's a projected 2nd, 3rd rounder.
Yeah.
Like, Deebo Samuel, I think... In my opinion, I've watched him play actually a lot, and I don't watch a lot of college football, but South Carolina's on TV quite a bit, and I've watched him play a lot, and I've really liked the way he plays.
N'Keal Harry, too, from Arizona State. The Jets have been linked to him since the beginning of last season, and they're like, he's going to be a top 10 pick because that's where the Jets are going to be. No, nobody else is looking at him. Wait. You just take him later.
And there's I feel like skill positions like receiver and running back are
they're a dime a dozen.
Yeah, and they're always you could find one undrafted. Mm-hmm. Arian Foster is my favorite undrafted running back.
Yeah, and he's probably one of the better running backs of this decade.
Yeah, without a doubt. So I think the Jets will be fine, and I think, like Luke said, I think they're doing it the right way, and I think the Jets are going to make a major turnaround. I think if they don't finish 1, I think they'll finish 2 in that division this year, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say it again because I've said it last time and the last few times. The Jets they're on the come up. I just hope they don't screw it up because from this year until like the next 2 seasons, they have a lot of young guys under contract. They got a lot of cap space. I'm not saying they shouldn't just blow their load on one person, Like Le'Veon Bell, that was a splash, but everybody thought he was going to get that $100 million like he wanted. They smartly signed him.
Yeah, they got him for
half
a right price. Yeah. Like it wasn't like they broke they spent a lot of money on him, but they didn't they didn't overdo it.
4 years, 55 is not bad.
No,
for a guy that his caliber, not bad. And I guarantee you, he's going to have the best season of his career.
And as long as he performs, he'll see more than that.
Dude, he's refreshed, and you know what? He kind of makes up for the lack of receiver on the Jets. He had 85 receptions his last season for the Steelers.
And kind of like Ingram, you can't put the age on, like, you can't say, oh, Bell is this old. Not that he's old, but he's this old. Like, he's only got this many years. He just missed a whole year.
Yeah.
He's been suspended a bunch of times. So,
he's pretty fresh, I would say.
Yeah, he's younger than what his age appears, if
and
that
like
makes sense.
And like you were saying with Ingram, he's 29, but he still has fresh legs, man. Mm-hmm. Like we said previously, he lost his job to Pierre Thomas when he was first drafted, so he didn't play much. He was suspended the first 4 games of last year, so, he did his time splitting carries. And splitting carries is probably, like, having a dual running back system is probably the best for your team anyway. You spell your star guy when he needs to be spelled. And that's why the Browns are, like, they're perfect in that situation. They have 3 starting running backs that can start for any team in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree. So, NFL 2019 rule changes.
Yeah, I saw this today. It was pretty interesting. So, I have them here. Rule number 1. These are all approved by the competition committee. So rule number 1, the expanded protection to a defensive play or defenseless player. That means if a guy's not looking, you can't crack back block him. They're actually going to enforce that more this year. And also a receiver that's up in the air, you can't take him out legs first. And then there are changes to the enforcement of double fouls when there is a change of possession. I'm not sure what that means. Well, I guess we're going to see what that is. They've also simplified the application of scrimmage kick rules for missed field goals. And last, they're going to allow teams to elect to enforce on the succeeding try or the free kick of an opponent for unsportsmanlike conduct foul during a touchdown. I guess that's like celebrations and stuff like that, and then picking the spot where the ball is.
I'm going to be honest with you.
None of that made sense.
Besides the first one, none of it made sense.
Dude, but so, the reason I brought those out was A, to inform us about the new rule changes, and B, why do they make it sound like it's an Einstein rule or something? Put that in layman's terms so people like us can understand it.
So I'm just gonna say
I sounded like a baffling idiot reading that.
I'll learn about the rules when one of the refs messes it up when he throws a flag.
In the middle of the game, you're like, what is he talking about?
And they bring in Mike Piera, and he doesn't even know what's going on because the rule changed.
Let Tony Romo explain it to me, please.
Yeah. So then the last, we have 2 more things. First thing, Bears and Packers open the season again.
I think you gotta go with them to open it up. They played each other 199 times in the past. This is the 100th season. They're 2 of the most classic teams, and sometime this season they're obviously going to play for the 200th time. I think that's pretty cool.
And they had a hell of a first week. I mean, the Bears blew it last year, but that was a hell of a game. And so, I mean, I'm so for it because I cannot wait to see Aaron Rodgers poop his pants again. When he plays Chicago, because
they're just going to put him on his painkillers and he's just going to go off again now.
Yeah, but the second time they played, Rodgers had no answer for Chicago.
The first time they played, he was zonked, bro.
I know.
So what happened?
My knee.
That was great.
But that's not happening anymore. The Bears are going to rule that division from now on. Aaron Rodgers, take a seat.
I sure hope so, man. You've been depressed about the Bears since the last time they made the Super Bowl.
Well, we just talked about this, I think, in the last podcast. You've lived a really good fan life.
I have. That's why I'm not so upset that the Giants suck.
I've lived a horrible fan life. Other than Vikings fans, I don't think, Chicago fans, unless you were born pre-85, know nothing about the Bears being good. And the Yankees, I mean, the Yankees are the Yankees, but like the Yankees really haven't been that good in the last 10, 15 years. Like they've been a good team, but they've won one World Series in 2009. So
they've been there, you know.
Yeah, but they haven't won it.
Yeah.
So
Red Sox won 4.
Exactly. So
Giants too.
I mean, my basketball team is great.
Dude, you don't even watch basketball. You were just the first person to hop on the Warriors in 2K. You just shot threes with Steph Curry the whole time. You didn't even know you had Klay Thompson.
Well, I was on the Warriors when they were still rocking the ugly orange jersey.
Baron Davis was still on the team.
Yep. Yeah, he was. Steph Curry was on the bench. I'd put Curry in and just splash away.
Unbelievable.
So the last NFL, well, it's not even an NFL thing. It's AAF.
Dude, this is good quality football. I'm enjoying this game that I watched. Probably one of the better games of the season.
I will say,
including NFL that I've watched.
Haven't watched the games because weekends are a little busy and it's not NFL. But I watch the highlights when I'm at work, and this finally made me realize Johnny Manziel sucks.
He didn't even play.
I know, but when he did, like, it just kills me because the other quarterback that played is better than Manziel.
I don't think he's better. He just got there.
He's better.
He practiced with the team for 3 days. Dude. Is he going to start this week? Probably not. Because that guy, obviously, balled.
Singletary came out and said, oh, he's doing so great. He knows the offense so well.
Yeah,
So why didn't he play?
He's learning still,
No.
He only played 3 series.
I'm sorry. Johnny Manziel.
What was
he was 3 for 5 for 48 yards and 20 yards rushing in 3 series.
My thing is...
And he's playing on the worst team in the AAF.
And the quarterback behind him still did a better job.
Okay, but I was watching that game, and that left tackle, number 71, I don't know your name. I am sorry, but it's probably better that I don't. There was one play Manziel Dude, there was one play Manziel was in, and he was hitting 2 seconds after he snapped the ball because it was a fake handoff. It was play action. The left tackle went straight instead of like going to the side, and he was looking behind him already. The defensive end passed him.
Well,
he didn't even touch him.
The line play in the AAF sucks. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I've seen it in all the games. There's like a couple
good guys, and that's about it.
But I'm sorry, Manziel has not been good at any level he's played at this far, except for college. So any pro level,
I'm holding hope.
Yeah, you can keep holding hope. Johnny Manziel is not even. He's better than Hackenberg, which isn't hard to do. I think all 3 of us are better than Hackenberg. And who's their other guy? Oh, Mettenberger got hurt. Mettenberger got hurt.
He did get hurt. He's done.
So
he got hurt. But the second play of the game, he started.
I would say Mettenberger's probably the best one they got. Whoa. But now the guy that he
lost his starting job to Hackenberg.
No, he didn't. Well, in the beginning of the year, and then he took it, and then he balled out, and then he got hurt.
But still, he lost it at a camp.
At the end, yeah, but anybody can practice well.
Yeah, I guess.
And Hackenberg practices well.
But that's true because Warren Buckley was a practice superstar.
Oh my God, he's throwing shade at kids we went to school with. Oh my God.
Dude, I remember he knocked Joe out. Joe Zanella, poor guy. Wherever you are, what's up, buddy?
All right, so anything else for football you guys want to add?
Nah, I just want to move on to baseball. I'm excited. Opening day is on Thursday, a day we will be recording. We're going to have the Buffalo Wild Wings set up. 2 computers, 2 TVs, 4 different games. I'm excited. I just planned that right now for us.
So. Where are we doing that at?
Here at my Lamode, my casa.
All right, we'll figure that out. When is it's coming up, right?
2 days.
Thursday.
2 days.
I just said Thursday.
Oh, I thought you meant next. Yeah, it is Thursday. Damn. All right.
Came fast, bro.
Yeah, it really did. So a lot of stuff has happened since our last episode. Again, so Chris Sale, Justin Verlander, and now Jacob deGrom all signed big extensions. So Sale got 5 years, $150. Verlander got 2 years, $66, which is the highest salary for a pitcher in baseball.
Yes, sir.
And then deGrom, 5 years, $137.5 million. And then we got to add Kyle Hendricks to that, who got 4 years, $55 million, which is hilarious because all these other guys are in the hundreds and he's in 50. But Hendricks is good.
He's good, but he's that next tier down. He's not that superstar pitcher. He's good and consistent, but he's not Chris Sale or Justin Verlander or deGrom.
I would take Kyle Hendricks. Well, all right, I'm not going to say that, but Kyle Hendricks in the playoffs is filthy.
Yeah, he's a ground ball pitcher. That's normally good in the playoffs. But Chris Sale got 5 years, $150 million from the Red Sox. He was due to be a free agent after the season, so it was about time to get that done anyway.
I honestly could not see him in another uniform.
No.
He fits the Boston persona so well.
is the Red Sox mold. You know, he could fit on the 2004 team.
He's like that gritty guy.
Dude, he toes the slab every 5th day, even when he's hurt. You know, he just...
Or they put him on the 10-day. Yeah. And don't let him pitch in the second half because he sucks.
All right. But he does the damn thing, does he?
No,
not?
he does. He does. I could see them, like, another guy that fits that team is, like, Bumgarner. I could see Bumgarner going to Boston.
Oh, bro.
He's going to be a free agent.
He's not even that. If they trade for him, you just made me Papa Chubby. So, dude, if they get Madison Bumgarner and they got Chris Sale and a revitalized David Price, I'm all in.
But tell me he doesn't fit that mold, too.
Does.
Like, he's the same,
He's
same
that
guy.
Dude. He's the same guy because they don't care. They'll fight people. They don't care, you know?
They're that big redneck. Like, that's what they are.
Yeah, that's what the Red Sox are. That is the persona.
Which is so weird because Boston people are not like that. But for whatever reason, that's the persona of the team.
Yeah, for some reason, the team's always just like scumbaggy. Yeah. And I love it.
They definitely are. And it's so funny because everyone keeps saying how, like, the Yankees are linked to Bumgarner. He does not fit that atmosphere whatsoever.
He's not going to go there. Just like Bryce Harper wasn't going to go there because he likes having a little dirt on his face, too. I don't know, man. Yeah. They're not going to get the dirt bags.
No, yeah. And I in my honest opinion, I don't think Bumgarner would play well in New York. That's just not his atmosphere.
It's not.
So I mean, I'm happy for all those guys. Even though as a Yankee fan, I like Chris Sale, Jacob deGrom. It's about time. I mean, he's been the best pitcher in baseball.
I got a bone to pick with a little certain somebody that's on the radio. I listen to this guy every day. I know he used to throw. Yep, Michael K.
Michael K. Screw you,
dude. I know we used to always throw shade at this guy, but I was listening to him
for good reason.
Yeah, he was saying that it was the stupidest move that they could have done, and like the highest risk and lowest reward like contract they could have done because he had 2 seasons left before he's a free agent. I get it. I get why you say that, why it's different for player or pitchers compared to position players. I get it. But if he's your guy, you do it. So if this was Aaron Judge, Michael K would have been perfectly fine with it. Oh, yeah. If it was Luis Severino, perfectly fine with it. Look at where the Yankees are at now with Severino. He's on the shelf. There's always a risk, yes, with pitchers because they have the higher risk of blowing their arm out. But if it's your guy, this guy threw for sub-2. And regardless of if he's going to be 33 years old by the time his contract's up, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, who cares?
That guy, if you don't sign him, he's more likely to sit out and not play for your team, you know? So pay the man his money, make sure he's happy, and surround him with good players, help them win. If it's your guy, you let him go. You toe the slab every day, you help him out. And the new GM being the agent, I think that helped it.
Yeah, DeGrom is a good person in baseball. He works his ass off, and he's fun to watch. I mean, the guy is a horse. So he totally deserves it. And Verlander as well. It's nice to see an older guy. You know, he's kind of revitalized his career because if you would have told me this 3 years ago, 4 years ago,
nah, Verlander's done. Don't give him that.
His career looked to be done, and he's revitalized, and now he's making $33 a year. Mm-hmm. So happy for him. Kyle Hendricks, I love Kyle Hendricks, but going back to the Sale extension, so it's kind of good news if you're a Red Sox fan, but it also is bad news.
Yeah, I took it with a grain of salt because we have so many core guys that are
there's only so much money to spend.
There's only so much money, and you already see this year that the Red Sox are close to that luxury tax fine. And I apologize for saying we because I bash people all the time. I'm not claimed on their taxes. I'm not a part of the Red Sox, so
you're not?
Backtrack that we. No, I just look like
I thought you used to pitch for them.
Yeah, I just look like Craig Kimbrell. But even I'm a free agent now. See, the Red Sox they didn't have enough money for me. So, but that's where I'm getting to, man. You got Rick Porcello coming off the books, Xander Bogaerts, J.D. Martinez. I almost said J.D. Drew. He was also a Red Sox. Very good one, too. But J.D. Martinez, he has that opt-out clause. He has 2 opt-out clauses, so we'll see what he does. And finally, Rusney Castillo can opt out, but I highly doubt he will.
Yeah, why would he?
Dude, he's getting paid $14.5 million to not be on the 40-man and just live life in Pawtucket.
I want that job.
I want his job. I want his job.
The ideal job.
But like I said, they got X-Men. You know, he's coming off the books. He's been a huge part of the Red Sox, like, come around. Ever since he's been called up from 2013. They built around him. Mookie Betts wasn't even supposed to be the guy. Xander Bogaerts was supposed to be the guy.
And I think he finally came full circle. Last year was his best year, without a doubt.
Dude, everybody was like, oh, he had a low average. He had 25 home runs and 100 RBIs.
Yeah.
You know, and Jackie Bradley's coming off the books, too. So you can only spend so much money to keep so many guys. And I think unfortunately, that Xander Bogaerts' time after this year in Boston is over. And
you think?
And I know for a fact Porcello's is done too. Yeah, because you got to save money for Mookie. You got to save money for Benintendi when his time comes. You got to save money for Petey's coming off the books eventually in 2 years, I think. And then,
that can't come fast enough, huh?
I love Petey, so I'm not going to be mad at how much they pay him, even if he does. He's a player coach, so he helps develop guys. Even when he's not like on the active roster, he's there coaching. So he's always there. So I think his money's well deserved anyway. It may be a lot, but it's all right. And Jackie Bradley, too, man. He's coming around as well. He's that defensive guy. Like, everybody, you rely on him to make those plays.
And he's the guy that I chose to be that breakout guy for the Red Sox this upcoming year.
And like I always say, I'm a team builder guy instead of one superstar guy. Mookie Betts, they're probably going to spend a lot of money to keep him. That means, Bogaerts, sorry, bud, but we'll see you later. Good luck in the future.
And kind of still talking about free agency here, this is what makes me like Mike Trout this much more. Mike Trout did not want to test free agency, so he's smart because if you're a baseball fan and have followed any free agency stuff, free agent market is not what it used to be.
Yeah, the last 2 years, guys.
You have a better shot at getting an extension like this, like it's been going on the last week, than getting signed in free agency. If you hit free agency, that's a problem. Yeah, that means that the team doesn't want you, and the other teams probably don't want to pay for you. So he saw this. It was a red flag for him, and he wanted to be an Angel for life. So even though there's all those rumblings how he's a Philly boy, Mike Trout will always be a Philly boy. Like, that's never going to go away. Whether he's playing in the West Coast or not, like, he's always going to have ties to Philly. He's always going to come back.
You're always going to see him with Carson Wentz.
Yeah, and he's always going to be at Eagles games. So him being an Angel now never affected that now. Yeah. So why would he have to go to Philly to be that? Like, he doesn't. Yeah, he's always going to be loved there.
He marches to his own drum,
Yeah, so he wanted to be an Angel for life, and I applaud him for that because we do not see too many guys stay with one franchise for the rest of their career.
He saw, guys that are close to his potential and like his caliber, and Machado and Harper struggle to find jobs. So he didn't want to go through that. He figured, hey, I'm here. I got 2 years left. Let's cancel those 2. And, I'm in this for the long haul. Just pay me, and we'll see what we can get done.
And who knows? I mean, by the end of his contract, maybe he plays another year or 2 with another franchise. But at the end of the day, no one's going to ever remember those 2 years. Like, do you remember, like, the last 3 teams Jason Giambi played on?
I do.
Like, it was like the Rockies, Indians.
And he went back to the Athletics.
Yeah, all right. So but like, most people that are just generic fans probably wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, you're going to remember who he played for at that time, or his best years.
Dude, he's only 26 right now, going to be 27, and he's already one of the greatest players of all time.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Already, like
he's got nothing to prove.
He has nothing. He could retire today and be a Hall of Famer, just solely off of WAR, which I don't like that stat.
You bring this up every podcast.
I hate that stat. It's stupid. It's like they definitely favor center fielders, and I get it. They got the most ground to cover, whatever, blah blah blah, but. Even if I don't like WAR, he's only been in the league for 6-7 years, and he already has a higher career WAR than Vlad Guerrero and Barry Bonds. And Barry Bonds is, I think, in my opinion, is the greatest player ever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've always liked like Pete Rose. I look at Pete Rose's numbers.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's the greatest ever, but if you're talking hits king, I mean, I don't think anybody ever gets close to what Pete Rose did.
You said hits king, and I thought you were referring to me as like Jerry the King Lawler. If you're talking hits king, I thought you were JR for a second. Oh man.
So also, Jose Ramirez was carted off the field the other day. That looked nasty. He fouled the ball off his knee.
Did look pretty bad.
But everything came back negative, so he's just listed day to day. It could be bad for the Indians though, depending how long it comes back, because they're already missing Francisco Lindor.
Yeah, I think if they're missing both of them for the first month, which Francona already said it's not looking bad. It's just a bruise. He'll be slotted in for game opening day unless something else happens. But if they're missing those 2 guys, they're in trouble.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
I mean, that division's up for grabs, and it's basically the Indians anyway. But I think that first month, if they suck, which they're not really that good outside of those 2 guys, I think it could be a big issue.
Yeah, and that means Cargo, who is also my breakout player, is going to go off and hit those 30 home runs I said.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
And then Scooter Gennett, is also out for 2 to 3 months now. I feel like Scooter Gennett's a stud, but I feel like he gets hurt quite a bit.
Yeah, he does. And I think that's why the Brewers were so,
leery on keeping him.
Yeah, they were so leery on keeping. They let him go, and they were like, all right, let's just kick him to the curb, no remorse. But he's a stud, bro. He's one of the top second basemen in the league. Now he's going to be out 2 to 3 months. So that's a big hit for the Reds. But that's also a good opportunity for Nick Senzel. He was my guy for the Reds to watch out for.
Yep. But he didn't even make the team yet, did he?
Well, now with the injury, I don't know.
He could now, but, I mean, he was getting a lot of work in the outfield, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do with that.
They're looking at him early on as like a utility guy, second, third, outfield.
But they didn't even keep him on the team.
Yeah, we'll see. We also saw Eloy Jimenez hasn't gotten called up yet, and he signed that big deal. What they're trying to do is that 12-game thing so they get the extra year.
Yeah. Devin Mesoraco, talk about a freaking free fall.
Yo, this guy, he was a stud when he first came up.
But it was only for like 2 years.
Yeah, that's all you really need as a catcher to establish yourself.
Devin Mesoraco got cut by the Mets and offered a minor league spot. He declined as a free agent, so he's contemplating retirement. I just can't believe he's completely hit rock bottom.
I would say. But it's tough, though, being a catcher, and he had 2 hip surgeries. So I understand. And maybe, he's hinting at retirement. Maybe it is time to, hang it up.
If he doesn't, you think anybody picks him up?
No.
Not minor league?
I mean, maybe like a team desperate for a catcher that had an injury to their backup or something, but I think even then there's probably better options at this point.
Yeah.
Even in your minor leagues, like I know, like if Austin Romine went down and was out for the year, like they're not going to go look for Devin Mesoraco. They're going to just take Kyle Higashioka. I mean, that's so. I don't know. It's just sad because he was a stud. He was an all-star, and then he just fell off. Mm-hmm. So then, speaking of the Yankees,
boy, I thought this was screwed up. Dude.
Well, let me say something. I praise Brian Cashman so much, and there are some things that Brian Cashman has done this offseason that have me scratching my head.
Questionable.
And, yeah, so, first off, Tyler Wade can play short, he can play second, and he can play all 3 outfield positions.
Yeah.
Well, now he doesn't...
Defensively, he's very good.
He doesn't hit the best, but they gave him the job to get better at hitting. And what did he do this spring? He hit over 300. Mm-hmm. He's ridiculously fast. So the Yankees haven't had a good base stealer since Young Gardner, which hasn't been forever. And so Tyler Wade was going to bring that super utility dynamic to the team, especially with a team that has some injuries with Aaron Hicks being out. And instead, Tyler Wade doesn't make the team, so he doesn't make the 25-man. He's sent down, obviously pissed. He came out and said it in his interview that he did, which I totally agree with, because they went with a guy... Tauchman.
He's a 28-year-old rookie.
28-year-old rookie hit 150 last year and did not hit a home run. I think he had like 5 RBIs. Tauchman sucks. And so he sucks. Like, I have no other way to put it. They came out and said that they think this is going to be this guy is going to be this year's Luke Voigt.
Yeah, Aaron Boone said that today on the radio when he was getting interviewed.
Are you stupid? What the hell are you watching?
Bro, you know it's not Aaron Boone. As I said before we got on air, it's like all the analytics. He's just a puppet master. Or not even a puppet master. He's a puppet.
Well, me and Master Splinter have been saying this forever, that, Aaron Boone is without a doubt Brian Cashman's puppet. And it's just, it goes to show. I mean, how do you not take Tyler Wade, who had... He had better numbers than almost anybody else there as far as overall numbers, and he played a great outfield. And instead, they're banking on this Tauchman guy, and they're banking on Gardner being able to play center field every day. And Gardner is not a starting outfielder in baseball anymore.
Well, another move that has me scratching my head with Cashman is they're all in on Tulo.
Yeah,
they're all in on Tulo.
Yeah, they think Tulo.
They signed DJ LeMahieu, who's been one of the better hitters in the last 5 years, and they signed him for a pretty hefty deal, like
3 years,
$40 million or something
like that. Yeah,
to sit the bench. That don't make sense to me, bro.
Well, the thing with that, LeMahieu's going to get traded. They're going to get to the deadline, and he's going to get traded. They're going to have an injury somewhere else.
What if they trade Tulo if he does really well?
But I think that they got chubbies for Tulo, so I don't think that he's going anywhere. I think if he goes out and has an MVP year, they're gonna give him like a 3-year deal.
Dude, I feel like Cashman has always loved Tulo.
Well, Tulo's always wanted to be a Yankee, so it's like that mutual interest. And so if Tulo goes out and hits 250 and hits 20, 25 homers,
that's a success.
They're giving him, I know.
But they're going to give him a 3-year. I would give him 2 years out of that.
But then he's going to come back next year and shatter his leg again or something.
Hey,
and
it's his toes.
No, it's actually his heels. He had double heel surgery.
Poor guy.
So I don't know. Like, there's just certain things, and they can't afford to. You let Tulo play this year. When Didi comes back, get rid of his ass.
Well, I'm on the same boat as you, so I'm not even a Yankees fan. I don't understand what's going on there. But moving a little north to their rivals, the Red Sox have finally solved their catching quarrels. They carried 3 catchers for like the last 2 seasons, and finally they have only gone down to 2. And the one is one of my favorite players, Blake Swihart. Finally got that backup job. He plays first base as well. He plays left and right field. So he's kind of like a catcher utility guy. So he adds depth to the bench. Sandy Leon, I thank you. I tip my cap to you. You've been great. You've been calling perfect games for the Red Sox for the last couple seasons.
I like Leon a lot.
He is, but, it's just time. It's time. They either lose out on Swihart and his potential. He's still young. He's only 26. So you either lose out on him because you got to trade him if you're cutting him. He's out of waiver options.
Cue the Titanic music.
Yeah.
as Sandy Leon's leading.
Yeah, dude. But it's time, bro. Sandy Leon's 32. He could help another team. He could be a backup somewhere. Thank you, Sandy Leon. But it was time. Blake Swihart, let's do it, dude.
Well, you also got another.
God, you talk about head scratchers. Tyler Thornburg is the worst pitcher in the league. They traded Travis Shaw, who is a perennial all-star now, for Tyler Thornburg.
They did.
And Thornburg has probably pitched 10 innings for the Red Sox in 3 seasons.
Not enough.
Exactly.
He has not pitched enough.
Dude, Travis Shaw would have been the answer at first base for the Red Sox.
He probably would have been a better pitching option.
Yeah, he actually did pitch pretty well for the Red Sox in the time that he... But just to throw some stats at you, Tyler Thornburg, Boig.
I always want to say Thornbug.
So do I. That's how I just kind of said it. But he had a 10.50 ERA this year, this spring, in 6 innings pitched, with 6 walks and 6 Ks. Meanwhile, they had a young lefty, Darwinzon Hernandez, who was also another guy I said to watch out for the Red Sox. This kid was a stud. A .82 ERA, 11 innings pitched, and 12 Ks. That must have been a tough decision to, obviously it was clearly tough.
Comparing the numbers, they're pretty close.
Unbelievable, man.
Those numbers are pretty close.
I don't know. Alex Cora, just bring me another ring. We're cool.
I just think the Red Sox are going to struggle this year, not based on their offense, but I think they have so many question marks in their bullpen.
Matt Barnes and Brazier did all right last year. Workman was good too. But you got to have more than 3 guys. You got to.
I mean, especially nowadays. I mean, every team has, 4 or 5 guys that can come out of their bullpen and sling it. So
they did add Colton Brewer from the Padres, though.
Who the hell's the other guy that they have that he always got the dirty hair?
What's his Kenny name? Powers himself.
Yeah, what's his?
Heath Hembry.
Yeah, Hembry. He is garbage.
He's bad.
I feel like every time he plays the Yankees, he gets destroyed.
He's bad.
Moving on, some more baseball stuff.
We got a lot of stuff today.
Yeah, we do.
This is a long one, so if you're listening, stay tuned. There's more good stuff coming.
Yeah, listen to half now and half later.
Dude, 2 drives going home, bro. To and fro work, bro.
Yep.
Traffic always hits at some point.
Yep, especially if you work in the Jersey area.
Or, if you're switching from biceps to triceps, like Mooch listens to us when he's working out. Yeah. Day. Cardio, dude. Just listen. Tune in.
So the Giants CEO is suspended by the MLB until July for video of aggressively grabbing wife in public.
Bro, did you see this video?
No,
it came out like a month ago. TMZ dropped it. It came out a while ago, and they finally just came to a decision now. But I think it was his wife definitely dragged it a little bit.
Did she flop?
Yeah, she flopped. Bro, I hate domestic violence. I have no respect for people that are anything that tied with that. I can't stand that shit. And that's the only time I'm going to curse from now on. We're trying to keep it clean nowadays here. But
You're allowed one slip up.
Yeah, bro. They had an argument in public. They were out eating, and this dude stood up to like grab her arm and be like, "Hey, let's go." I guess he did it aggressively. It didn't seem that bad in the video, but the wife like fell. She flopped, and she's going, "Ah!" just like screaming at the top of her lungs, "Help me!" Like, dude, it was crazy. And some guys are like, "Oh shit, let me videotape it instead of helping." And that's all it is. Like, and then he got suspended till July. That kind of sucks.
Yo, I got an idea.
What's that?
So, for the podcast, okay? Let us know how you feel about this idea.
What's the idea?
We're going to grab $1, okay?
Every poop dollaring people?
No, every time you say a curse word, you have to hand the $1 off.
So, swear jar, basically.
Yeah, and then whoever finishes with the $1 gets to keep it.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, so I would have the $1 right now because you just dropped 2 curse words in 5
all right.
5 seconds.
Next episode, we'll do that.
Or something like that. Yeah, it doesn't have to be $1, but we'll figure it out. Speaking of criminal actions.
Oh, this next one's kind of sad, though.
Yeah, no.
I've always been a fan of this guy.
Todd Helton checked into a rehab center after DUI, drove truck into a pole on March 18th.
What are you doing?
Come on, Todd.
Come on, Todd.
Make better decisions. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot of guys in all of sports that have, some issues, or you make a mistake. I mean,
I'm pretty sure this is just a mistake, man.
I've never heard of Todd Helton getting in trouble for anything else. And again, never drink and drive, but sometimes people don't think. You do something stupid one time, you think, maybe he had a couple obviously he must have been pretty intoxicated driving into a pool, but I mean, he had a couple drinks and, he felt like he was fine because we all feel invincible. You don't ever feel like it's going to be you, but
I'm guilty of it sometimes, man. Like, I know they say buzz driving is drunk driving, but there's been times where I've, had 3-4 beers and I'm all right, and I drive, and I'm stupid enough to get behind the wheel. I try not to do that anymore. I haven't done it recently. Just throwing it out there. I'm a safe driver. So, moms, dads, if you're listening, your kids are safe on the road with me.
I'll make sure to get you the license plate for Luke's car, and then if he sits by you...
It also just got switched, so it's different.
Going back to the DeGrom trade, Noah Syndergaard is pissed.
Yeah, bro. I read this. He is pissed. It sounds like he wants out of there already. But you know what's funny? They had him.
He's gonna go Thor on them.
Yeah, you're gonna get the
hammer.
And go,
there goes the F
I lost $1 again.
You owe me like $4.
And I'm the one that wants to keep it clean.
I know.
Oh man. But he's causing issues with the front office. He doesn't want to do this preseason tour that they're doing to introduce the new AAA affiliate in Syracuse. But I found it so ironic and hilarious. They were delayed. Their flight to Syracuse was delayed 3 hours after he said all this.
They probably did it on purpose.
Yeah, dude, he must have been so pissed. And then today, when they get there, he's the flag carrier. He's running out with a Syracuse flag. Dude, they had to do that to piss him off, man.
I got a better idea. Every time you say a curse word, we're just going to make a noise like, wee, wee, wee.
I'm down. Either way.
Oh, my God. All right.
The SpongeBob.
Dude, getting back on track. Byron Buxton has been lighting it up this spring, and he's been a top prospect for probably the same amount of time as Mike Trout's been in the league.
Since he's been drafted.
Yeah, they came up together. And, you always heard about Buxton and Trout, and Buxton was supposed to be Mike Trout. He was supposed to be better than Mike Trout, and he just hasn't, none of his potential came to fruition. Is this the year?
No.
Right now, he's hitting .444 with an OBP of 440 or 488 and a slugging of 861. He's got 4 dingers, 15 ribs, and 4 stolen bases.
As I've said before, I don't take any stock into spring training. You honestly, just watching spring training, you see more scrubs pitching than you do top of the rotation guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Byron Buxton to me is always going to be a above average fielder.
He won Gold Glove last year, didn't he?
He's going to have above average speed, but I think in my honest opinion, he's kind of like Aaron Hicks. But I think Aaron Hicks is a little bit more well-rounded. I think he's got a little bit more power than Buxton has. I could see him hitting. I think the highest average I could see him hitting is 250. But if he can keep his on-base percentage up at least and maybe hit 15 homers, I would say that's a success at this point for what he's produced so far.
If I'm Rocco Baldelli, all I want Buxton to do is just focus on getting in scoring position. Stretch those singles and the doubles. Get steal bases. Get the steals, like Mooch just said. Like, if you're a player of that speed and that caliber, just do what you're good at. don't try to do too much. You know, you were supposed to be this 5-tool guy, but you're not. You know, BJ Upton went through the same. Sorry, Melvin. No, it's BJ
Upton
again. So BJ Upton went through the same thing. He had a fall from grace too. He had 2-3 good seasons where he hit 20, close to 30 home runs, and then he's like, hey, you know what? I'm not this guy. Let me just steal some bases. So you get paid either way.
And now he's out of the league.
Yeah, play towards your tools. That's all I gotta say.
All right, so last episode we did players to watch out for each American League team.
Bam.
Now we're gonna go each National League team. All right, we're gonna go through this quick.
All right,
because we got a lot of stuff left.
Let's start in the West.
Well, we're going NL East. I'm just gonna go down the line here. Sorry.
Guess I'm dyslexic
so
today.
Braves. All right. My play now. I'm torn between two guys. I like Donaldson as like a comeback player. But
a lot of guys are having him win MVP.
I think that he's gonna have a turnaround year. I think he's finally healthy. But my pick's gonna be Colby Allard. I've always been a huge Colby Allard fan since he's been drafted. Yeah. And he has not lived up to hype. He actually pitched extremely well in the minor leagues, and then when he came up last year, I think he pitched, I would say 5 or 6 games, and he actually struggled. But I don't know. There's something about, I like Colby Allard. He always had that Clayton Kershaw comp, which is kind of cool. And he's got really good stuff, and he's still so young. So I think that hopefully, I don't know if he's going to start the year with them, but I'm hoping that they call him up at some point. And, you know, to me, I think that he's that pitcher. If they can get him on track, because they already have a pretty good rotation, if they can keep him on track or get him on track, he could be a really good 4th or 5th starter. And he's only, I think, like 23. So, and that's just right now. I mean, hopefully he can keep progressing, but that's my pick for the Braves.
I have 2 for the Braves. I know you want 1, but I'm going 2, just because of their names, and you know they could be good, especially the first one, Julio Teheran. He is gonna be. I think this is gonna be his bounce back year. He's gonna be great, and then the next X factor right here. You ready? Touki Toussaint.
Oh, Touki Toussaint. I like him.
No. It's Toussaint.
Okay.
Kind of like you're eating a French donut. A croissant. Okay? They go hand in hand. This guy's he pitched really well last year.
Doesn't he have a funky delivery?
Yeah, he's got a funky last name.
How does it go again?
Touki Toussaint.
That will never get old. I want you to say that every podcast from now.
Touki Toussaint?
Yeah.
Or do I gotta say like Touki Toussaint? I'm laughing. I'm laughing as I say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my guys. Man. Toussaint.
So my pick for the Marlins is going to be Brinson, because there's literally no one else on that team.
Brian Anderson, bro.
Yeah, Anderson's good, but I think Brinson hit some nukes this spring again. Yeah. So I don't know. I like Brinson. He was traded in that Yelich deal. Mm-hmm. So I think it's time for him to show up.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I like Brinson, but Brian Anderson, he's another key guy there. Did you see they cut Dan Straley?
Yeah, I did.
Talk about a fall from grace. That guy was a top pitching prospect, and he got cut from the Marlins.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
God, poor guy.
Then we got the Mets.
I'm going with the obvious, Peter Alonso.
That was going to be my pick.
Yeah, he's the obvious, man.
He mashed this spring.
Yeah.
And they're going to have him and Smith.
Ooh, Smith did good well.
Goodwell. Yes.
Goodwell. He did good well this spring.
He did. That's why
I believe he took Touki Toussaint deep.
He might do that often because they're in the same division. Yeah. They actually didn't know if Alonso would make the team because he's younger and Smith has major league experience and played so well. But I think Alonso hit so well. There's no way you could not put him on the big league team.
Yeah.
Then we got the Phillies. You want to make your pick first? I already got mine for this one.
I'm gonna go with the obvious pick for the Phillies.
Bryce Harper.
I'm not going.
What does he do with Philly?
Bro, Bryce he's gonna hit 50 nukes easy. Dude, he has the most home runs.
Yeah, I can see it.
Dude, he has the most home runs in any other field than dude.
Yeah, you mean he has more home runs at Citizens Bank than any other field?
Tongue-tied, I'm cursing.
Touki Toussaint.
Dude, I'm thinking, I think I'm in France right now, bro. French fries, Touki Toussaint, who knows? Nah, but Bryce Harper, he's going to hit 50 nukes, so you can have your pick.
I'm going to go...
Oh, I didn't pick
I thought you said you could have your pick. I didn't pick Bryce Harper.
He's not your pick?
No, he picked Bryce Harper. Mooch, Teflon Don.
Odubel Herrera.
I like that pick, but he's not Asian.
I know.
Okay.
I'm just, putting a little funk on some shit.
He eats Asian food sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of Asian in him.
My pick is going to be Maikel Franco.
I was going to pick him too.
Maikel Franco had actually a quietly good year last year for all the hate that he's gotten in Philly.
Dude, everybody was like, get him out of there. He didn't do bad.
No, he
led the league in Grand Slams. By the way.
he did well, and he's actually... Stop. He's actually, I think, going to do better because he's going to hit lower in the lineup with the star power that they got now. And he's going to see more fastballs, less breaking balls, less pressure off of him to do well because of the lineup they have.
Yeah, they expected him to beat Bryce Harper last year.
I could see him going out and hitting 30 home runs this year.
Yeah, I could
just because there's no pressure on him. And then we got the Nationals, who I cannot believe where they ended up in the power rankings.
Who?
Trey Turner?
He's good, but he's not my pick. Is that your pick? That's Mooch's pick. Trey
How do you know who Trey Turner is?
Bro, he watches. But I called it last... Dude, I told you.
You did. I gave you props on Twitter.
I peeped it. I liked it. Yeah, they're going to be a better team without Bryce Harper. Better team.
Who's the other one? Max
Scherzer. Oh, yeah, he's great. But I think I'm going to go Juan Soto. Maybe, does he follow up last year?
Or a sophomore slump? I don't know. I think he follows it up. He's a stud.
Yeah.
I
think I know yours. I have a better one. Brian Dozier.
Comeback player.
Yeah.
I always have loved Dozier, but mine's not like it's not a player to watch out for because he's always been good. But I'm gonna go Anthony Rendon. He's on a contract year, so I think he goes out, he mashes this year, and gets himself a hefty deal.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Then we got the Cubs. I'm going Bote. Bote.
David Bote.
Yeah.
Bote. Tay Bote. I don't know
I don't know how to say it either, but
I like it. But there's a Spanish song that's called Tay Bote, and it's a great song.
Maybe you can do a snippet of that for us next podcast.
Maybe I'll have to learn the words. I don't even think I sound so white saying it, Tay Bote.
Who's your pick for the Cubs?
Kyle Schwarber. He hit a dinger today against the Red Sox.
So comeback player.
Yeah.
Because he's been bad.
Dude, he mashes righties. He just cannot hit lefties. That's his only issue. I could see him hitting 30 home runs this year.
Reds. I'm going to go Sonny Gray.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing.
I think Sonny Gray...
Dude, he was a stud this spring.
Yeah, he's going to go out and just pitch phenomenal, go back to that Cy Young type pitcher he was, just because there's no pressure on him now. I mean, I think the Reds will be okay. I don't think they're going to be great.
I don't know, though, man. He might struggle pitching in that ballpark.
I think he'll be all right.
He
came out and bashed Rothschild and bashed the Yankees, and you notice he's made those changes. He hasn't thrown as many sliders. He's thrown more curveballs, or vice versa. I don't remember which one it was.
No, you're right.
But so he's kind of, and they wanted him throwing up in the zone more. Mm-hmm. Which you see that with a lot of the Yankees pitchers, they get their outs in the top of the zone, swinging and missing.
They also give up nukes.
Oh, they do, yeah, without a doubt. So I think that switch.
Just like Brock Holt took Severino deep, bro.
All right. Moving on. Brewers. Who's your pick for the Brewers?
Mike Moustakas.
I like that pick. I love Moustakas
because he's at a new position this year. He's playing second base.
I think it's hard to pick a top player because I think they have a really good team.
It's not a well put together team because you got a lot of guys playing out of position.
No, yeah, it is for sure. I don't know. I'm just gonna go Travis Shaw. I think he's gonna be their best player this year.
I love Travis Shaw.
I'm gonna go him over. I think he has a year better than Yelich.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like higher average?
I don't know about higher average, but I think his power numbers are gonna be really good.
They were up there last year.
I think they're gonna be better.
What really?
Yep.
If
the
they're
mayor
better,
of Ding Dong City.
If they're better, I'm gonna write Dave Dombrowski a very strong worded letter about the Tyler Thornburg trade because
I want him to be better just so I could see that happen.
I will write it verbatim, word for word, on this podcast. If Travis Shaw has a phenomenal season, like you say,
I hope he does. Then the Pirates.
Corey Dickerson. No. Jung-Ho Kang. He's coming back, bro.
Comeback player, dude. He had a good spring. I'm gonna go
8 nukes.
I'm gonna go Bell. I think Bell has a breakout season.
I like
Josh Bell.
him too. I like
Switch hitting first baseman. You don't see too many of those anymore.
No.
I think he's gonna come out and drop nukes. I got the hiccups.
How do you think he'll do against Tuki Toussaint?
I think he's gonna take him deep, left-handed. Well, I was going to say left and right-handed, but he's only going to bat left-handed.
We'll see.
Then we got the Cardinals. The beloved Cardinals.
Goldie. What the Goldie. Paul Goldschmidt.
That's an easy pick.
Why?
Why would you pick him?
Because.
I'm going Tyler O'Neill. Tyler O'Neill had a crazy spring.
I'll go Paul DeJong Mustard.
Oh my God.
How's that? It's actually pronounced De Jong, but I said DeJong for the mustard reference.
Got ya.
I'm kind of hungry.
Me too.
So we said we were going out, and we're already at like 2 hours.
Yeah, I know. Diamondbacks.
Wilmer Flores, baby. He finally gets his time to shine. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Carson Kelly, catcher, that they got in the Goldschmidt deal.
Yeah, he's nothing. Alex Avila's playing.
Rockies.
David Dahl. He's finally getting his time too.
I'm gonna pick Pat Valaika. I can't pronounce his last name.
He's their utility guy?
Yeah.
Oh, Ryan McMahon would have been a good pick too.
First base?
Third base? He's playing second.
Second base.
Danny Murphy's playing first.
I forgot about D. Murphy.
Oh, he picked Wade Davis.
Wade Davis is a stud. Dodgers.
The Dodgers. I'm going to go Alex Verdugo.
I'm going to go Julio Urias.
Nice.
Giants. I don't think they're going to be very good.
Dude, they're the dumpster fire of the MLB right now. I'm not going to do the obvious, Buster Posey or Brandon Belt. Or
but those might
Madison
be your only picks.
Joe Panic. Joe Panic.
Yeah, but Joe Panic is actually he's under the radar.
What do you want me to do? You want me to go Mac Williamson? They got nobody.
I'm gonna go.
Gregor Balanco? No, I'm not gonna pick them either. They're bad players. That is a bad team. They're terrible. They're so bad. The biggest news for them this offseason has been their CEO.
I'm gonna go Brandon Crawford.
And they were trying to get Bryce Harper. He's not gonna go there. You could throw him $10 million in every single year of his life. He's still not gonna go there. That is a bad team.
Padres.
Will Myers. I think if he stays healthy, he goes for a 30-30 season.
I'm going to go Fernando Tatis Jr.
Tatis.
Yep, that's my pick.
I like Tatis because it kind of goes with titties. That's not a curse word. It don't count.
Yeah, you're right. It's the human anatomy.
Boobs.
All right.
Human anatomy. The female anatomy. The fupa.
Oh, my God. All right.
Oh, man.
So the last thing for baseball, the power rankings came out. Astros are 1, Red Sox are 2, Yankees are 3, the Dodgers are 4, and the Nationals are 5.
Told you they were going to be there.
I completely agree with this, other than the Nationals. I still don't think they're going to be that good.
They're going to win the division. How?
I don't think so.
Dude, their bullpen's the best in that division.
I think the Phillies are still going to win that division. Phillies are Braves.
Phillies are going to crack under pressure like they did last year.
Well, the Braves won't.
You see Marquez is hitting 336 again?
He's going to hit 315.
He won't even hit above 300.
You want to bet?
Hot take.
All right, you're crazy.
We'll put that $1 for the curse jar on the bet.
All right, moving on. MMA,
Finally.
UFC.
Oh, I've been waiting to get to UFC all day.
I just want to say this. This past weekend's card was the biggest snoozer of the year.
Minus the last fight.
Minus the last fight and the prelims main event.
Yeah.
Those fights were complete garbage.
Yeah, I thought so too.
They were so boring.
Dude, they hyped that Macy Barber chick up to be like Ronda Rousey, and nah.
I think she's better than Ronda Rousey.
But
I mean, she won by knockout, but it wasn't like the Thompson knockout.
No, dude, that was probably the best knockout I've seen since Rich Franklin knocked out Nate Quarry.
Yair Rodriguez.
That elbows don't count. That was lucky, bro.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, bro. That was all luck. He would never do it again.
It doesn't matter.
All right, Rocky, calm down.
Do you think that Pettis knew that was going to knock Thompson out?
100%.
I don't think he knew that.
He knew as soon as he hit him. He's like,
as soon as he hit him, but no, I think...
Do you think Yair Rodriguez knew? No.
I think he knew.
No!
I think he knew.
No.
That knockout is the greatest knockout in UFC history. That Yair Rodriguez knockout.
No, it's the luckiest knockout.
No, it's the best knockout ever.
No way.
Yes, it is.
Dude, if you go back to like UFC 1, you see dudes getting elbowed right to the temple and guys basically dying. Those are the knockouts I want to see. I don't want to see like, dink, you're out.
Curls, toes knock.
Yeah, dude, the Ngannou knockout's way better than the Yair Rodriguez.
No, it's not.
That guy's head flew like 10 feet.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And his toes are still curled.
That was still the greatest announcing ever by Joe Rogan. His toes are curled.
You know, he has permanent damage
Rogan
in his
really
toes.
seen that.
Really?
No, I'm just
But anyway, going back to the main event, Anthony Pettis KO'd Stephen Thompson when he bounced off the cage and Superman punched him right in the mouth.
That was awesome.
And watch out, UFC, Anthony Pettis is coming for you.
Dude, he's always been there. He's just been struggling with injuries. That's all. He's finally healthy now.
He went on a little bit of a slide, but he's calling out everyone.
Yeah, he's calling out all the guys that he lost to, specifically Rafael Dos Anjos. I don't like RDA, bro. I think he's a punk.
We'll find out, because I think that's going to be a fight. But the better question that you put on here, which I really like, what's next for Wonder Boy? Is it a rematch with Till or a pick-me-up fight and then Till? Like, to me, I think that Till and Thompson is a perfect match.
Yeah, and their first fight was really good.
They're both on a slide.
They're both on a slide ever since they fought each other. So you can go that route, or you can give them each a hey, here's a gimme to get you back on your feet before they fight each other. So we'll see. I think Leon Edwards is a good fight for him.
Well, but Leon Edwards wants to fight Gamebred.
That's not happening. Masvidal will destroy him.
Yeah, I think so too. 2-piece and a soda.
Yeah. Dude, I think Leon Edwards is probably a good fight, and for Wonder Boy, and then for Till, anybody that's 9 or lower is a good fight for him. So just to get him back on his feet, and then you could put those two against each other again.
And then we got we already kind of talked about Dillashaw relinquishing the belt, but
yeah, I just wanted to get the quotes in.
Yeah,
what guys are saying, the reactions.
So Uriah Faber says, quote, "I've been surprised for 6 years that nothing's been found."
And I said the same thing, because nobody gets that cut, man, without
now did
something
he test hop for PEDs, or was it a masking agent?
They haven't even said officially yet, so I think they're still testing. He did it prematurely. He relinquished the belt because he knows he's guilty. They found the findings and they notified him. They just didn't say of what exactly.
The man pissed hot. Don't do it.
I piss hot every morning, bro. I put my hands over it so I can tip. It's cold here.
I never talked about the Gaethje Barboza fight.
I could see the winner of that fight in Pettis.
We'll see. That's gonna be a really good fight, though. That's gonna be a war.
What, Barboza and Gaethje?
Yeah.
I think the next one would be even better. Pettis and Gaethje.
You think?
Oh yeah, I don't think Barboza's winning.
I love Barboza.
He's on a slide.
Yeah, he is. And another quote from Cejudo about Dillashaw, quote, "I will never fight him again. I don't care what amount of money. I TKO'd a cheater in 32 seconds, end quote.
Boss.
Yeah, that's about as boss of a quote you could say.
Yeah, really.
And what's Dillashaw going to say?
It's not real. I took a dick pill. He can quote John Jones, but... What? That's not bad.
Dick is a curse word.
Bro, my friend's name's Richard and his last name's Pill. Come on.
Oh, my God. So 135 title fight, Cejudo versus Moraes. Marlon Moraes. Moraes.
Yeah.
Or Marlon Moraes versus Sterling.
You sound more Asian than I do. And you're Spanish.
I know. I'm so Spanish, I took French in high school.
Dude, I think Cejudo should just stay in his lane, stick to 125. I think he should fight the winner between... Actually, just fight Jussier Formiga. That guy deserves a title shot.
Yeah.
He's been on a roll.
He absolutely worked, what's his face?
Figueiredo.
Yeah, this weekend.
Ooh. I nailed that one, bro.
That was good, yeah.
But yeah, he worked him for a good 3 rounds.
That fight was boring as all hell, too.
Yeah, I'd like to see him finally get his chance. If not, then let Formiga and Benavidez fight it out to fight Cejudo.
I want to see Benavidez fight for a title again.
Yeah,
he's been doing well as well.
He's a good fighter, and he also has a very hot wife who's from Nazareth.
Megan O'Leary.
Oh, how you doing, baby?
If you ever want to come on the pod.
Baby.
So, yeah. And then we got Nate Diaz. Khabib is scared of me because I slapped the shit out of him. Hey, that was a quote. I didn't say it.
But Nate Diaz needs to shut up, man. He hasn't fought in 3 years. He hasn't fought since the Conor fight.
I like Nate Diaz, but like you can't talk junk if you're not
active.
Yeah,
it's
like,
getting to the point where like he's annoying.
Kind of with the same with McGregor. So like I still love Conor McGregor. I'll always root for him in any fight. But like I'm kind of like overhearing about him at this point because he's not active. He's not fighting. Yeah. Like
well, there's more news about him. You know, he just retired, quote unquote. But he also retired in 2016. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just kind of over those guys. Like, if McGregor doesn't want to fight anymore, cool. Like, I get it. You've earned your money. Like, move on. But stop with the subliminal tweets.
He secured his bag, as the players like to say these days.
He did. And right off in the sunset, you don't have to keep, teasing us. Like, I want to see McGregor fight, and then I'm retiring. I'm not retiring. 3 hours before he said he was retiring, he was on Jimmy Fallon saying, yeah, we plan on a July comeback.
Yeah.
So dude, what the hell's going on?
Which one is it? And then today the New York Times is saying that he retired because he has sexual assault charges against him. They said that it's not true.
You can't deny it. Yeah.
But you never know.
I think it's just a stunt.
Yeah, just like the pregnancy thing, right?
Yeah. That's the thing. There's like too many publicity things with McGregor at this point. Like I miss the guy that McGregor was all business when he was trying to make a name for himself, and he would go in there. I feel like his distractions led to partially him losing in that Khabib fight. Truthfully,
he created his own distractions.
And it's like he's not
focused on so many other things that he's not focused on just fighting at it.
So who was worse in handling their stardom? I think this is a good question: John Jones or Conor McGregor?
John Jones.
John Jones.
Yeah, he became a crackhead.
Yeah, but I think that's a good question.
He hit an old lady and ran away.
Yeah.
So,
but then we got Woodley called out McGregor.
Stupid.
Just stop. Just stop.
You got worked, bro. You need to earn your way up again.
And he was so humble when he lost, saying, and now he does something stupid like this.
Yeah.
Tyron, I love you. Don't make me hate you, because that's some stupid stuff.
Let your mom talk for you, bro.
Yeah.
Speaking of Conor McGregor retiring, Uriah Faber had a few things to say. He's been talkative these past couple of days.
Uriah Faber's trying to come back.
Yeah, I saw today. That's why I noticed this, because he's been retired for 2 years, but he said even though he's been retired, the UFC's been talking to him, actively trying to get him to fight people.
2 fights they offered him.
And he said McGregor's probably going to be the same thing. Like the retirements in the UFC are never real.
Official.
Yeah. Look at Chuck Liddell.
Yeah, dude. Chuck Liddell. Randy Couture retired 3 times in the UFC alone, and they brought him back. And each time he came back, he won the championship. But still, he retired, and they actively try to get those guys because they're draws. Mm-hmm. Brock Lesnar retired. He's coming back again.
Yep.
So it's all about money now.
Even think about it, they can hold off on money. Even think if there was ever a Khabib and Nate Diaz fight, and then they bring back McGregor.
Yeah.
Think about the money and publicity that would bring to the table, of all 3 of them.
If I'm the UFC, I'm doing what Bellator is doing right now, because they have so many stars just in one division and so many rivals in that division. Everybody hates each other. It's great animosity, great viewings, ratings, whatever. They could capitalize so much on it with money if they hold a tournament. Not a one-day tournament.
I like the whole thing of everyone fighting everyone.
Yeah. Dude, just make
call
a
out who you want and
exactly, dude. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? They should do open weight fights too, bro. Not even catch weight bouts. If John Jones wants to fight Tyron Woodley, let it happen. Let them batter their brains in it's money. Yeah. And why not?
And guys, there are guys in different divisions that don't like each other, so let it happen. Or find a middle ground. Make it a catch weight fight.
Or exactly. Make a 165 division. Add those 5 pounds.
I know Tyron Woodley would have no issue bumping up weight. That guy is massive already.
He's massive. Yeah. But I just thought that was interesting that Faber said that.
And he said I feel better now than what I've ever felt. He's I gave my time, body to heal, and now I have that burning inside me to get back in the cage. So.
I've always been a huge Uriah Faber fan.
I think
sometimes you need that.
I think he's always himself in every fight he did.
And he's one of those guys where they drove him into the ground, man. This guy, he was like Cerrone, but he didn't have the, he wasn't able to handle that. He can't fight every other week like Cerrone can. But that's what they had him doing. He fought 9 times in his first year in the UFC from the WEC. Can't do that, man. You got to allow your time, your body to heal.
Yeah, I agree. So Cormier said he plans on fighting Lesnar soon.
Told you this was happening.
And that he may go to WrestleMania and cause him to lose his Universal title.
If I see Daniel Cormier in the crowd, I'm choking him out. He won't affect that match at all.
Throw soda at him.
I'm going to give him a 3-piece and a soda.
3-piece chicken tender and a soda.
Bro, if Seth Rollins does not win that match clean while I'm there, I'm walking out. I'm leaving.
Well, you can leave and you'll beat traffic because it's not even the main event of WrestleMania.
Oh, I know. Ronda Rousey is. Joan Jett's playing her out though. She sings her theme song. You know the I don't give a damn about your reputation or whatever the Reputation song. But Joan Jett's singing her out, so that's pretty cool, I guess.
And then the last thing. By the way, screw Daniel Cormier.
Yeah, for real.
Former NBA player Royce White says he's in talks with UFC and Bellator, which I saw this actually a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. He has no fight experience, which we've seen how that worked out with Greg Hardy. And he's been training MMA for 7 months, and he said he can be the heavyweight champion. Royce White said this.
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
There's too many guys that think they're tough that can join the UFC and win. Like Greg Hardy beat nobodies. And then when he finally got put up against somebody who was well-rounded and trained in MMA, he struggled. And he struggled so much that...
It frustrated him to throw an illegal blow.
Yeah. And that's the stuff that if Dana White signs this clown, that is the same stuff that's going to happen. And Dana White should...
Make me a bicycle clown!
He should stop because he's going to start he's putting bad product out there.
You know what they should just do? And I'm serious when I say this. They should make a celebrity division and have them fight old legends like Ken Shamrock, Chuck Liddell.
We got a TV show.
Yeah.
Boom.
And it's gonna be like Bully Beatdown.
But with celebrities.
But celebrity beatdown.
For all those celebrities that think they can...
I'm trademarking that right now. Don't take my crap, all right?
Yeah, or we'll show this to people.
We'll hand this recording in.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I think that would be awesome to watch.
Yeah.
Because there are so many celebrities out there that think they're the bee's knees.
Yeah, Demi Lovato is one of them.
Who's Demi Lovato fighting?
I don't know. Just let her get her ass kicked. She knocked out Jay Glazer's tooth. Yeah, let her fight Cyborg.
Oh my God. Yeah. Are they wearing headgear or no?
Nah, bro. If you're in it, you're in it to win it.
So we're going 4-ounce gloves.
I'm talking about boobs getting punched and popped, bro. Like you're going for the whole dude.
So we're going 4-ounce gloves with no headgear.
You know, I might even take it as far as bare knuckle.
Bro. Oh yeah, that would never happen
with the refs.
All right. Well, if that's not maybe kick pads and boxing gloves, maybe, and just have them fight pros or old pros.
That is a genius idea.
I think that would make money.
I think so too.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I definitely want to see Carrot Top get his face bashed in.
Isn't Carrot Top kind of jacked now?
He's juiced. And you know what? No drug testing either. Let everybody just be on roids for that.
Oh, man. I want Chuck Liddell to fight one of them.
That's good TV, bro. Have Chuck Liddell fight like Bryan Cranston from Malcolm in the Middle or something.
Get him back on the win column. It's been a while.
Jeez. Well, that's about it for today. I just wanted to apologize for the NFL rule changes. I thought that was going to be better than what it was. We actually had to delete a little part of it.
No, you shouldn't apologize. The NFL should apologize for wording it in such...
that make no sense.
Yeah. Dude, put it in layman words. It's not Einstein.
They don't even know what those rules mean. They'll figure it out when the season starts.
They talk about it on the sideline. That's what they
By the committee crew, the onside kick should be outlawed via whatever. Dude, no. Put it in words that I could read, not make myself look like an idiot.
And dumb it down. Make it like a paragraph.
Yeah.
Don't make it like 9 paragraphs.
Yeah, dumb it down, bro.
Like 2 sentences. Like an intro paragraph.
Put a little bit of flavor on it. Put a little croissant on it.
Mooch, you got anything?
I got nothing.
Nothing. You were a little quiet this episode.
Yeah, this episode...
You're just chilling.
Yeah.
We kind of were just like...
back.
Yeah, we were kind of like rapid firing, though. We had a lot of shit. We had a lot of stuff to get through.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, make sure you follow us on Anchor. God. And then on Anchor, there's all the other links, but Spotify is one, Apple Podcast, Pocket Cast. There's like 4 more, but make sure you go follow them. If you go on our Twitter page, I know that I've tweeted about it. So if you look through our Twitter, you can find those links. So basically, wherever you listen to a podcast, you'll be able to find it. Luke, you got anything?
No. Like I said earlier, happy Air Max Day. I have my favorite pairs stocked up in my room. The Vapor Max, those are nice, dude. They're comfortable.
And don't be afraid to be bald. That's my advice.
Yeah. Dude, you know what? For guys that are wearing like toupees and wigs, forget it. Shave it off.
Embrace the baldness.
Embrace the baldness, man. Some of the greatest of all time. Debatable with Michael Jordan. Some of the greatest of all time are bald, and they live it up. They live it up. Yet, I mean, Michael Jordan does have the Hitler stash to like coincide with his baldness, which kind of works for him. It's a little weird.
Yeah, I agree.
Hoop ear.
That's going to do it for episode 34. I would also like to thank Dan at Train on Main for sponsoring us. Oh my God, I'm getting a Charlie horse right in the middle of this. Ow, that hurts so bad. Oh.
I'll take it from here. Yeah, Train on Main.
Go follow them on Instagram, and you can find them at 427 Main Street, Stroudsburg. Go check them out. Peace out, everybody. We'll see you on Thursday with episode 35. Stay tuned.
Tuki Toisson.
Have a good one.
We bop and hippity hop. I'm as happy as I can be. Whoa, boom, boom, and hippity zoom. Love is sweet, love is grand, works one. We bop and hippity hop. I'll never be a millionaire. Whoa, boom, boom, and hippity zoom. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love. I don't care. We bop and hippity hop. I'm as happy as I can be. Whoa, boom, boom, and hippity zoom. Love is sweet, love is grand, works one. We bop and hippity hop. I'll never be a millionaire. Whoa, boom, boom, and hippity zoom.